जय कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवर धारी, जय गिरिवर धारी, जय यशोदानंदना, जय भजन रंजना, जय यशोदानंदना, जय भजन रंजना, जय यशोदानंदना, जय व्रज जन रंजना, जय यशोदानंदना, जय व्रज जन रंजना, जय यमुना तिरवनचारी, जय कुंज बिहारी, 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, जय राधा माधव राधे, जय जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ, जय जय जगन्नाथ, जय जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा, जय सुभद्रा, जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुंदरमाई की जय, नरसिंह भगवान की जय, पंच तत्व की जय, षड गोस्वामी की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की, श्री गुरुदेव तागो। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta prayesha badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhu Spadaji. Thank you very much for joining and welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatam session. So, today we'll be discussing from 4th canto, 13th chapter, verse number 46. Kadapatyam varam manye Sadapatyach chucham padat Nirvidyeta grihan martyo Yat klesha nivaha griha Kadapatyam varam manye Sadapatyach chucham padat Nirvidyeta grihan martyo Yat klesha nivaha griha Kadapatyam varam manye Sadapatyach chucham padat Nirvidyeta grihan martyo Yat klesha nivaha griha. I think one Mataji and one Prabhuji can decide.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Kadapatyam varam manye sadapatyachucham padat nirvidyeta grihan martyo yat klesha nivaha grihaha.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Prabhu. Any Prabhus wanted to recite?
Hare Krishna, may I?
Hare Krishna.
Kadapatyam varam manye Sadapatyachucham padam Nirvidyeta grihan martyo Yat klesha nivaha grihaha. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. We'll go word to word meaning. Kadapatyam, bad son. Varam, better. Mani, I think. Satapatyat, than a good son. Shucham, of grief. Padat, the source. Nirvidyeta, becomes detached. Grihat, from home. Matyaha, a mortal man. Yat, because of whom. Klesha nivahaha, hellish. Grihaha, home. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please hear the translation purport. Then the king thought, a bad son is better than a good son because a good son creates an attachment for home, whereas a bad son does not. A bad son creates a hellish home from which an intelligent man naturally becomes very easily detached. Purport. The king began to think in terms of attachment and detachment from one's material home. According to Prahlad Maharaj, the material home is compared to a blind well. If a man falls down into a blind well, it is very difficult to get out of it and begin life again. Prahlad Maharaj has advised that one give up this blind well of home life as soon as possible and go to the forest to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Vedic civilization, this giving up of home by Vanaprastha and Sannyasa is compulsory. But people are so attached to their homes that even up to the point of death, they do not like to retire from home life. King Anga, therefore, thinking in terms of detachment, accepted his bad son as a good impetus for detachment from home life. He therefore considered his bad son his friend, since he was helping him become detached from his home. Ultimately, one has to learn how to detach oneself from the attachment to material life. Therefore, if a bad son, by his bad behavior, helps a householder to go away from home, it is a boon. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Gyantamrandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamahyam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sagana Raghunatham Itam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shri Vishakhatamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yonta Pravishya Mama Vacham Prasuptam Sanjeevayati Akila Shakti Dharasvadhamna Anyam Chahasta Charana Shravanatvagadhi Prana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Mande Mananda Madhavam Namo Vishnupada Krishna Vishta Bhutri Shrimati Maharashtra Samati Namane Namo Vishnupada Krishna Vishta Bhutri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nirvisheshwanya Paschadisthana Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Hare Krishna Krishna Ram. So Hare Krishna Prabhu is Madhai for keeping the appointment today with Krishna. Very, very auspicious day. This is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's disappearance day. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur is the father of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. In fact, so many kirtans, no, Jai Jayarada Madhav, and so many other, they're all done by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So, and you have Gaura Arati, right? Evening Arati, we say that. So many wonderful things. He was actually a Garahastha, but very much in devotional service. How to be in devotional service even after doing your household duties. That's what he has shown us and directed us. Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. See the scriptures, no? The scriptures and the Acharya, the saints, they always instruct us never to lose heart in the face of all these impossible difficulties and so many things come in our way, right? So they say that never to lose heart. So this instruction, no, it seems very impossible to follow. Especially for the conditioned souls. We feel that, oh, how come it's possible? So many difficulties are there. How they say not to lose heart. It's a very nice story of a butterfly, right? It really makes us think deeply and convinces us of certain things. See, a man, he found a cocoon of a butterfly. Okay. So what happened? One day, a small opening appeared. Just a cocoon, right? He was just watching it and saw the butterfly. For several hours, he was watching that. It was struggling to force its body, through that little hole. So it seems to stop making any progress. It appeared as if it had gone as far as it could try, and so it could not go any further. That's what he was thinking. So the man decided to help the butterfly. So what did he do? He took a pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon. The butterfly then emerged easily outside. But it had a swollen body and a small shriveled wings. So the man continued to watch the butterfly because he expected at some point, in him, the wings would enlarge and expand so that it would be able to support the body. And then it will fly. Neither happened. In fact, the butterfly spent the rest of its life crawling around with a swollen body and a smaller shriveled wings. It was not fully grown. It was never able to fly. See, what the man in his kindness, and in haste, he did not understand, right? Understand that the restricting cocoon, right, and the struggle required for the butterfly to get through the tiny opening, right? It was Krishna's way, the God's way of forcing fluid from the body in the butterfly into its wings, so that it would be ready to fly for its flight, right? It did not happen. So that's why, in the same way, sometimes struggles are exactly what we need in our lives. We should develop the understanding by reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam that each obstacle, impediments, a hurdle in life is sent by Krishna to make us stronger. If Krishna allowed us to go through our lives without any obstacles, in fact, it will cripple our lives. That's why in Bhagavatam we find that King Anga, he was sonless for a long time. And after he offered oblations to Lord Vishnu, his wife gave birth to a son, Vena. But that boy grew up to be a greatly irreligious person. So after seeing the cruel and merciless behavior of his son Vena, King Anga he was greatly aggrieved, right? And he lamented. And he was greatly unfortunate, saying that he was unfortunate to have a bad son like Vena. But the wonderful thing is that in course of time, King Anga considered his bad son his friend, because he was helping him to become detached from his home. So the perception of the king is unbelievable. And a great lesson for those of us, right, who are so much attached to our family life, right, community life, our country, like that, right? That's why in this current verse, 4:13:46, we just saw the bad son is better than a good son, because a good son creates an attachment for home, whereas a bad son does not. A bad son creates a hellish home from which an intelligent man naturally becomes very easily detached. So, thus thinking, King Anga gave up all attraction for he's a king, greatly opulent kingdom. And so, one day, unseen by anyone, he very silently gave up his home and opulence and proceeded towards the forest. See how wonderful are the devotees of Krishna, right? That they could see the blessing of the Lord, right, in any painful condition, and take that difficulty itself as an impetus for detachment from home life. So we should seek the blessings of such wonderful, glorious devotees. So we can see the hand of Krishna in any situation. See, after listening to the strong advice of Vidura, right, Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, along with Vidura himself, left the palace of Yudhishthira, right, towards the forest without anybody noticing. They just left. So next day morning, what happened? Yudhishthira Maharaj became anxious, not seeing his two uncles and aunt. And he inquired Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra's secretary, in 1:13, 33 and 34. Where is my well-wisher, Uncle Vidura, Mother Gandhari, who is very much afflicted due to all her son's death? My uncle Dhritarashtra was also very mortified due to the death of all his sons and grandsons. Undoubtedly, I am very ungrateful, Yudhishthira Maharaj is thinking, right? He's saying, did he therefore take my offenses very seriously and along with his wife drown himself in the Ganges? He was thinking of all these things. In fact, Yudhishthira Maharaj, see what he was telling. He's telling, when my father Pandu fell down and we were all small children, these two uncles, Vidura and Dhritarashtra, gave us protection from all kinds of calamities. They were always our good well-wishers. So where have they gone from here? See, it's a well-known fact that Dhritarashtra himself was one of the main supporters of his son, Duryodhana. His heinous acts against Pandavas all through their lives, right? He was supporting them. It was only because of his excessive attachment for his own son that Dhritarashtra secretly wished that Pandavas may die and his son will become the king. So even though Dhritarashtra's nature and desire were known to everyone, but still Yudhishthira Maharaj, right, he's telling in these verses, right, two very unique and rare saintly qualities of a devotee. What are those? Number one, consider everyone else except oneself as good. Consider everyone else except oneself as good. Number two, remember only the good deeds of others. Remember only the good deeds of others and forget all their bad behaviors. Now, Dhritarashtra's sons, they inflicted so many difficulties on the Pandavas, such as trying to kill with poisonous snakes, the great fire, right, cannibals, insulting Draupadi, exiling them to the forest. So in creating all these difficulties, Dhritarashtra played a cruel role. But Yudhishthira Maharaj did not remember any of them, even though he had to suffer to such an extreme case, right? On the other hand, he remembered only the good days that they had when they were children, when uncles Dhritarashtra and Vidura would play with them and took care of them, especially when their father was dead. This is the greatness of a devotee. He forgives and forgets the wrongdoings of others. If we were in Yudhishthira's position, we would be definitely nurturing our anger for years to take revenge on that person who was the cause of our sufferings, right? So Yudhishthira Maharaj was able to behave this way because he had this special quality of a devotee, that is, considering everyone else except himself as good. Yudhishthira Maharaj was still not able to forgive himself for killing the sons of Dhritarashtra and consider himself the most sinful living entity. He thought this way, right? He was thinking, when we did not have a father, our aunt and uncles brought us up. But in return, we killed their sons, who are their shelter, especially in their old age. Who can be more ungrateful than us, Pandavas? That's what you see, the thinking of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Thinking this way, he provided all the facilities to protect his uncle and aunt in the palace. In fact, he respected Dhritarashtra so much that he would not take a decision without consulting him. So this is a very important and vital lesson we should learn from Yudhishthira Maharaj. There are so many people who happen to be an intermediate cause of trouble to us, right? But we should learn to forgive and forget and nurture good feelings for everybody. In this, what happens if we do that? In this way, our minds will have more time and energy to meditate on Krishna and serving other suffering jivas. Because we forgive and forget, right? So our minds will be free. We have more time and energy to meditate on Krishna, to chant Krishna's name. See, several years back, long back, right? Guru Maharaj gave a very good, wonderful instruction, powerful instruction. He said, remember 2 F's. Remember 2 F's. Forgive and forget. Others may do whatever they want. But you be on your own and fully absorb yourself in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. So this attitude, we must cultivate the nature of forgiving and forgetting others' mistakes and put more energy in rectifying our own mistakes. Put more energy in rectifying our own mistakes. Don't waste your energy and time, right? Because we don't have control on others. See, our behavior is so obnoxious. See, because these inabilities are present, the process doesn't work. Then we blame the process. Prabhupada has given a very nice process. But because of our inabilities, it doesn't reciprocate, and we beat about the bush here and there. And because of this dirty life, we have this very bad tendency, that is to grab everything. See, for example, I've gone for a program, right? I see a very beautiful table. Oh, this is a very nice table. I like to take it. So I asked the Prabhuji or even a president, Prabhuji, this table is very nice. I like to have this table. So the president, he says, no, Maharaj. This table belongs to the temple. So it should be here. So what happens if I don't trust his words and disobey him? I steal the table. But after stealing, I have to hide it somewhere. Right? I can't take it everywhere. It is because it's very heavy and big. So what I do? I keep it in some other's house. So Prabhupada says, the thing which we steal, suppose I steal the table. The thing which we steal will not accompany us everywhere. Correct? But the results of theft, that will definitely come with us. We don't have faith in karma theory at all. There's a very nice Subhashita where it says, Yata dhenu sahasreshu vatso gacchati mataram tata yacha kritam karma kartaram anugacchati. That is, just like how in the midst of thousands of cows, a calf finds its mother accurately. Similarly, the reactions of one's past actions hit the doer without fail. So whatever karma we do, anywhere we take birth, in whatever species we are in the next life, that reaction of karma will hit us without fail. Just like the calf finding its mother among thousands of cows. So why should we add more karmas? We should think, right? Unknowingly, we are accumulating so many karmas. See, while I am walking unknowingly, I kill so many living entities. That way I accumulate karma. So knowingly, why to add more? That's why Brahma Samhita 5.54 says, Karmapi nirdahati kentucha bhakti bhajam. That very personality Godhead destroys the fruitive karma of one engaged in devotional service. So that is the power of devotional service. That's why we should divert the attention to the process given by Srila Prabhupada. So unclean habits, it forces us to grab. Dhritarashtra. See, Dhritarashtra he could not see. So naturally, father is inclined to sons, right? So he cannot see that the son is full of adharma. Only Vidura could see. So when Duryodhana was born, he did not even cry. He was making the sound like a donkey. Vidura said that they should be killed as this was an inauspicious sign. But Dhritarashtra was angry. My son is only 1 day old. How can he destroy the family? But eventually it so happened. So many times our sentimental behavior doesn't work. Only Krishna's desire and decision works. Krishna wanted Duryodhana that way, so it was like that. So one man with unclean habits, right? He wanted to banish Pandavas by hook or crook. And he did it. But eventually in the battlefield, karma caught him again. He was lying like a helpless man in the battlefield with a broken thigh. So how long will it take for Krishna to finish us off? Krishna gives us a loose ring. We think we are clever. See, there are unlimited things and ways we need to be clean. Everywhere we should be guided by clean consciousness, Krishna consciousness. If you don't understand, Prabhupada's books are there. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, so many other small books. We should relish these things. So we should try to find something easy to remember, right? From these Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and try to put it into practice. Thereby keep our consciousness clean. So Prabhupada said 16 rounds is a must. 16 rounds is a must. That is the purifying force. So we have to follow that. So we saw in that King Anga, he was beginning to think in terms of attachment and detachment from one's material home, right? See, when in 559 Purport Prabhupada says, by associating with sadhus and engaging in devotional service, one is gradually freed from the material consumption due to knowledge, practice, and detachment. The knot of attachment in the heart is slackened by that. So one gets freed from the conditioned life and he will become eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. See, detachment. Very nice word, right? The senses are always desiring sense enjoyment. But when a devotee develops transcendental love for Krishna, his senses are no longer attracted by material desires. So this state of mind is called detachment. There's a nice example of this detachment in connection with King Bharata. In the 5th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 43, in Bhagavatam, it is stated, Emperor Bharata was so attracted by the beauty of the lotus feet of Krishna that even in his youthful life, he gave up all kinds of attachments to family, children, friends, kingdom, as though they were untouchable stools. So Emperor Bharata, he provides a very typical example of detachment. He had everything enjoyable in the middle world, but he left it. This means that detachment does not mean artificially keeping oneself aloof and apart from the allurements of attachment. Not artificial. The point to understand is, even in the presence of such allurements, attractions, if one can remain unattracted by material attachments, he is called detached. See, in the beginning, of course, a neophyte devotee must try to keep himself apart from all kinds of alluring attachments, right? It's not so easy. But the real position of a mature devotee is that even in the presence of allurements, even in the presence of attractions, he is not at all attracted. This is the actual criterion of detachment. See, one understands his constitutional position by knowledge and vairagya. Jnana, knowledge, vairagya, renunciation. So without knowledge, one cannot have realization. Perfect, right? If you don't know what it is or what you are doing, Krishna Holy, then you will not know what is how to go renunciate. So the realization and that one is the smallest, very minute, infinitesimal part and parcel of Krishna. Right? This only will make us unattached to material life, conditional life. So that is the beginning of devotional service. We should think that we are nothing. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, one cannot engage in the devotional service of the Lord. See, one who is attached to material contamination cannot be a devotee. See, in the conditional state, now we are influenced by material nature, right? So it is a constitutional position to serve someone. But when we do not serve Krishna, we serve Maya. In any case, we cannot become masters. Who can say that he is a master, that he is not serving anyone? Nobody can. We may serve family, society, country, right? Or whatever, bosses. If one cannot find anything to serve, another beautiful point. See, we may serve, right? But if one cannot find anything else to serve apart from this family, society, and Nielsen, he goes and buys a cat or dog and serves it. Why is this? It is because service is our nature. We are simply lacking the knowledge of where to direct the service. Service is meant to be rendered to Krishna. In the material world, we are serving our lusty desires, not Krishna. And we are deriving no pleasure from this. We are also serving in an office or, right, in order to get some money. See, in this case, we are actually serving money, not the person. The person says, boss says, no money, no salary. You not serve, right? So the material world, we serve the senses and money. In any case, service is there. You must serve. So when we come to our spiritual senses, we can understand that we are mistakenly engaged in Maya service. And that our duty is to engage in Krishna's service. That is self-realization. Jnana Vairagya Yuktena. Real understanding is knowing oneself to be the servant of Krishna and no one else. Now, because we are under illusion, we are serving Kama, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, right? Lust, greed, without benefit and without pleasure. That's why Bhakti Rasamrta Sindhu 3 to 25, when we come to the understanding that our pleasure lies in serving Krishna only, then we have attained Jnana Vairagya. That's why in Bhagavatam 1:2-7, it is said, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janaityatyaishuvashuviragyam Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam. By rendering devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of God, Shri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. One may ask, why should I serve Krishna? See, being a part means serving the whole. So the whole is Krishna. And the individuals are meant for Krishna's satisfaction. Ishavasyam Vidam Sarvam. See, bhakti involves becoming free from attachments of this material world and becoming attached instead to Krishna. Right? Bhakti involves free from attachment to material world and become attached to Krishna. See, one cannot become unattached. One must be attached to something. But in order to become attached to Krishna or enter to devotional service of Krishna, one has to become detached from material affection, right? So people, what happens, ordinarily go to Krishna to maintain their attachments to this material world. Oh God, oh Krishna, give us our daily bread. They have attachment to this material world. And to live in this material world, they pray for the supplies of material things so that they can maintain their status quo. This is called material attachment. See, although in one sense, it is good that people go to God to secure their material position, but that is not actually desirable. See, rather than worship God to increase one's opulence in this material world, one should become free from material attachment. So for Bhakti Yoga, therefore, we should be detached. So our suffering is due to our attachment. Okay, our suffering, whatever your suffering is, because of our attachment. Because we are materially attached, we desire so many material things. And therefore Krishna, he gives us the opportunity to enjoy. Okay, go ahead. Whatever material facility you want, take it. Of course, one must deserve these facilities. You go and just ask, but you should deserve that, right? First deserve, then desire. See, suppose I want to become a king. I must have the pious activities behind me so that I can become a king. See, Krishna can give us whatever we want, even mukti, liberation. But bhakti is a special consideration because when Krishna gives someone bhakti, the Krishna becomes purchased by that bhakta. And he becomes a tool in the hands of that bhakta. Even though he is the supreme powerful person, Krishna. See, Radharani, the symbol of the topmost bhakti, is so powerful that she has purchased Krishna. Therefore, Vaishnavas take shelter of the lotus feet of Radharani. Because if Radharani recommends us, oh, here is a nice devotee, Krishna must accept him. So to become a devotee of Krishna, one must be completely cleansed of all material attachments. This qualification is called Vairagya. So Bhakti Yoga process contains two symptoms, right? Attachment for Supreme Lord and detachment from all material things. So there are two symptoms of advancement in the process of devotional service. So, right, that's we found. So just as there are two processes taking place while eating. So when you're eating something, right, two processes act at the simultaneously. A hungry man feels, once he eats, he feels strength and satisfaction from eating. That's the first one. At the same time, he gradually becomes detached from eating anymore. Okay, first you are hungry, go on eating. So you feel satisfaction, get the strength. After some time you stop, then detach from any more eating. So twice simultaneously it happens. So similarly, with the execution of devotional service, real knowledge develops. Therefore, one becomes detached from all material activities. In no other activity but devotional service is there such detachment from matter and attachment for Krishna. There are 9 different poses of, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Very wonderful things. So there are 2 things in the material world, attachment and detachment. Karmis, they're working so hard because of this attachment. Jnanis, they are renouncing. But a devotee is always satisfied in any condition. He has no attachment or detachment. He is simply attached to serving Krishna. Prabhupada says that is attachment. And that attachment is not for any other purpose. He simply surrendered to Krishna. And whatever Krishna will do, that's all right. Personally, a devotee has no attachment. Now, suppose Krishna wants him to do something which he doesn't like to do. Still, he has to do. Because Krishna wants, just as Arjuna, he did not like to fight. But still, because he understood Krishna wants, then he fought. So this is neither attachment nor detachment. See, it was not liked by Arjuna, right? But he did it because Krishna wanted. So personally, he has no attachment or detachment. If Krishna is attached to something, then he becomes attached. If Krishna is detached to something, then he becomes detached. That is Bhakta's principle. Personally, he is neutral. The difference between Karmi and Bhakta. You know what is the difference between Karmi and Bhakta? Karmi is attached and detached for his own purpose. But a Bhakta is attached and detached for Krishna's purpose. Personally, no attachment to him. So Krishna says, Sarva dharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. 18.66 Bhagavad Gita. So there are two kinds of principles, attachment and detachment. So mam ekam sharanam vraja. So this material attachment and detachment one should give up. You should surrender to Krishna. This is Bhakta's principle. See, in 5.6 Bhagavad Gita, Sanyasastu baho dukkhamaptum ayogatah yoga yukto munir brahma chiranadhigacchati. Unless one is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, mere renunciation of activities cannot make one happy. The sages, purified by works of devotion, achieve the supreme without delay. That's why Rupa Goswami states, Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunah mumukshubhi parityago falgu vairagyam khatyate. Bhakti Ratamrita Sindhu 1, 2, 255, 56, he says, when one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts anything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is not as complete in his renunciation. See, temporary. One thing may be temporary, right? We say this is temporary, this is temporary. But it is not false. Prabhupada in one of his lecture, he says, see, just like we have come here, I come from India. I am staying in this room for the last 2 months. I may stay here for some more days. I am a visitor. My visit is temporary. But this temporary visit is not false. I am sitting here, I am talking to you, I am eating. There are so many things. They are not false, right? But temporary. So everything has got connection with Krishna. So that realization is required. See, whatever we see here, they are only perverted reflection of the reality. Just like there is a tree on the bank of a river, you will find that tree is perverted reflection. Pervertedly reflected within the water. That means the top has gone downwards and the root has come up. We see in the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, it is described in that way. So this world is a perverted reflection. And because it is reflection of the reality, therefore it appears so nicely. And we take it as actual fact. That is called illusion. But if we understand that it is temporary, right? I should not be attached. It is temporary. My attachment should be to the reality, not to the unreality. Reality is what? Krishna. This is right. But whereas the other thing is reality, but it is temporary. So we have to get ourselves out from this temporary to the reality. See, now in this material world, because this material world is a manifestation of the energy of Krishna, therefore it has got very intimate connection with the Supreme Lord, right? It has got connection. Just like the sunshine. Although the sun is far, far away, but sunshine has got direct connection with sun. Sunshine is connecting me from the earth to the sun some 90 millions of miles away. Still, I have got connection with that. Similarly, the material world is a manifestation of the energy of Krishna. Therefore, it has got intimate relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. That we have to understand. We should not take it, accept it as false and reject it. No, we cannot reject it because there is connection with Krishna. See, now we have to utilize it properly. Because it has got connection with Krishna, because it is energy of Krishna, the whole thing is that they should be utilized for Krishna. That's all. If this material world is utilized for Krishna, then there is no trouble, no disturbance of peace. Always peace and very happiness in this world. At the same time, happiness in the next world also. See, when I'm taking prasadam, right? I think, oh, this is nice prasadam sent by Krishna. He has kindly sent it to me. This way I think of Krishna. So taking of prasadam is in full in Krishna consciousness is known as yoga yukta. That is called yoga yukta. Always thinking in Krishna consciousness. That is yoga yukta. See, actually, everyone is attached to something. See, no one can say that he is free from attachment. The Mayavada and Buddhist philosophies, tell us to become detached. But this in itself is not possible. They only say only to detach. See, a child is attached to playing in so many ways. But gradually, we find, right, child in the beginning playing in so many toys, so many things. But gradually his attachment should be transferred to reading and going to school to acquire an education. So it's a question of not stopping attachment, but of transferring it. If one simply tries to put an end to attachment, he will become mad. Something must be given in the place of attachment. For instance, Prabhupada says, we tell our disciples to stop eating meat, right? But how this is meat eating can be stopped? So in the place of meat, we are supplying kachoris, rasagullas, many other palatable things. In this way, detachment is possible. First of all, nullify the inferior attachment and then supply a better attachment. See, there is no question of forcing a living entity. This must be done gradually. See, a child may have some attachment, right? But by the system of replacing attachment, his attachment is overturned. Similarly, our consciousness has somehow or the other become contaminated. Now it has to be purified. Then Krishna consciousness will automatically arise and awaken. Krishna consciousness is our original consciousness. But somehow or the other, It has become covered by material attachment. The question is how to give up material attachment and become attached to Krishna. The process is sadhu sangha, association with a sadhu. See, we have many attachments in this middle world, but we cannot make these attachments void, right? We simply have to purify them. Some say that if the eye is diseased, Prabhupada gives in one example, if the eye is diseased, no, it should be plucked out. But that is not the treatment. Treatment is removing the disease. So somehow or the other, there is cataract. If the cataract is removed, one's eyesight will be revived. See, we have many desires, but we have to divert these desires to Krishna's service. For instance, we may be very much attached to making money. So therefore, Krishna says, yes, go ahead, conduct your business. There is no harm. Simply give me the results. 9.27 it says, Bhagavad Gita, Yat karoshi yad ashnasi, yad juhosi tadasi yat tapasyasi pakaunteya, tat kurushya madarpanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you perform, should be done as an offering unto me. So this is the beginning of Bhakti Yoga. If you conduct business and earn money, we should spend it for Krishna. This is a form of bhakti. Another example is Arjuna, who was a fighter, right? See, by fighting, he became a devotee. Okay, Arjuna did not become a devotee by chanting Hare Krishna, but by fighting in the battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna advised him to fight. But because Arjuna was a Vaishnava, in the beginning he was unwilling. Because a Vaishnava does not kill anything, right? But if Krishna orders him, he must fight. He does not fight out of his own will. Because Vaishnava's natural instinct is not to do harm to anyone. However, see, when a Vaishnava knows that Krishna wants a particular thing done, he does not care for his own considerations. In any case, everyone has some particular type of duty, an occupation. So if we perform our occupation in the worship of Krishna, our life will be perfect. This is also the instruction given in Bhagavatam 1:2:13. Tata pumbirduja shreshta varnashrama vibhagasha swanishtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. O twice, a bust of the twice born. It is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation, according to caste divisions and orders of life, is to please the personality of Godhead. See, formerly, Varnashram Dharma was prominent. Everyone had a particular duty according to his position in society, right? So now the occupational duties are expanded. Doesn't matter whether one is an engineer, doctor, whatever. Simply try to serve Krishna by the results of the work. That is bhakti. See, it is not the philosophy of this Krishna conscious movement to disengage people from their activities. One should engage in his occupation, but one should never forget Krishna. Krishna advises us to always become Krishna conscious. And we should always think that we are acting for Krishna. Of course, we should work by the order of Krishna or his representative, not whimsically. If we perform some nonsensical action and think, I am doing this for Krishna, that will not be accepted. The work must be verified by Krishna's acceptance or by the acceptance of Krishna's representative, spiritual master. See, Arjuna did not fight without Krishna's order. Therefore, we must receive our orders also. We may say, I cannot find Krishna. How can I follow his order? It is the role of the sadhu to impart Krishna's orders. So Krishna's representative is the sadhu. See, Kapil Deva advises his mother to associate with sadhus. So instead of thinking, unless I have a drink, no, I will go mad. That's what we see, Unless I drink, I will go mad. I have a puff, I will be mad. Instead of thinking like that way, you should say, unless I associate with a sadhu, I will go mad. So when we think in this way, we will become liberated. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has stated that he wants every village in the entire world to be center of Krishna consciousness, so that people can take advantage of sadhus and in turn become sadhus. This is the mission of the Krishna consciousness movement. We simply have to voluntarily undergo some penance in the beginning. It may be a little painful in the beginning, right? To refrain from illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating and gambling. But one has to be tolerant. See, to be cured of a disease, we may have to agree to undergo some surgical operation. See, although the operation may be very painful, we have to tolerate. This is called titikshava. At the same time, we have to be karunikaha. That is, we have to take compassion upon fallen souls by going from town to town to enlighten others in Krishna consciousness. This is a sadhu's duty. So those who are preachers are superior to those who go to the Himalayas to meditate. See, more one hears about Krishna, more one becomes enlightened and detached from everything that draws the mind away from Krishna. So this is practical because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to the Supreme Spirit. So this attachment is called Pareshana Bhuti, spiritual satisfaction. It is just like the feeling of satisfaction a hungry man has for every morsel of food he eats. I just gave that example. Similarly, by discharge of devotional service, one feels transcendental satisfaction as the mind becomes detached from material objectives. Very beautiful verse, 11 to 42 in Bhagavatam. Devotion, direct experience of Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Devotion, direct experience of Lord, and detachment from other things. So in the same way, that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger comes simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. See, in Bhagavad Gita, verse number 13.8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 verses. Krishna declares what is knowledge and what is ignorance. So Prabhupada has given a very wonderful and practical purport to this verse with reference to detachment. He says, as for detachment from children, wife, and home, it is not meant that one should have no feeling for these. They are natural objects of affection. But when they are not favorable to spiritual progress, then one should not be attached to them. The best process, see, Prabhupada beautifully gives, the best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. The best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. If one is in full Krishna consciousness, he can make his home very happy because this process of Krishna consciousness is very easy. He gave a 4-point program. We have to just follow the 4-point program and we will be successful in life. We can go back home back to God. What are those? Number one need only to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Number 2, accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Take prasad. Offer the bhoga, take it as prasad. Accept remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Number 3, have some discussion on books like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Discuss within your family members, call your friends. Maybe sometimes you may having birthday party or call them, have a birthday party, but discuss one shloka or just ask them to chant one round. Right? Sing one kirtan Hare Krishna mantra. Discuss, right? So these things. So have some discussion on books like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And 4, engage oneself in deity worship. Worshipping. Right from Mangalarti, Narasimharti, Tulsi Arati, all this. The whole package which Prabhupada has given. Just follow these 4. So these 4 will make one very happy. One should train the members of his family in this way. The family members, they can sit down morning and evening and chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Sit down and ask them to chant 5 minutes. You're given 24 hours, you're given. Just sit 5 minutes together and chant together, congregation chanting. Hare Krishna mantra. If one can mold his family life in this way to develop Krishna consciousness, following these 4 principles, then there is no need to change from family life to renounced life. Can still be in family life. You will be brahmachari. The husband, in this family, if the wife is supporting, right, Krishna consciousness, helping the family and husband, everybody, then that itself is a brahmachari actually. No need to go out of it. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. See, in all cases, one should be detached from the happiness and distress of family life because in this world, one can never be fully happy or fully miserable. Happiness and distress are like concomitant factors of material life. One should learn to tolerate as advised in Bhagavad Gita. See, one can never restrict coming and going of happiness and distress, right? It just comes and goes. So one should be detached from this materialist way of life and be automatically equipoised in both cases. So the family motto should be, the best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. See, very nice letter from Prabhupada to a devotee. I think it is named Shriman Brian Fleming on 6th March 1974. In fact, that devotee had some difficulties in inspiring his wife to take up the process of Krishna Bhakti. So he wanted to know if he has to leave his wife. Prabhupada gives very practical, sublime advice. Prabhupada says, you write that you are becoming very involved in Krishna consciousness, but your wife is not very interested, and you want to know whether, from me, whether you should leave her. It is not necessary to leave your wife. The important thing is that you yourself become Krishna conscious. She cannot check you one way or the other, but you must yourself surrender to Krishna and be engaged in devotional service. We do not say that one has to leave home. Either you leave home or remain there. Whether or not she becomes Krishna consciousness, you go on with your progressive interest and participation in this great movement. By and by, if you are strong in your determination, she may also follow you. So, see, when devotee couples approach sometime back, my Guru Maharaj, with challenges in material life, right? Maharaj used to give the very nice example of devotees like Eknath, Sant Tukaram, Narsimha Mehta. See, Eknath ji had a very good wife who helped him serving Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So he went and thanked Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. Because you have given me a good wife, I am able to serve you nicely. Sant Tukaram ji's wife was always fought with him. So Tukaram ji went to Krishna and said, thank you for giving me a difficult wife. So I am able to attach myself to you more. Now Narsimha Mehta ji, his wife died very early. So he came and told Krishna, thank you, Krishna, for helping me to detach from family life so that I can dedicate myself completely in your service. So the lessons we can learn from these great souls is that bhakti is unconditional. Whether we are blessed with family members favorable to devotional service, unfavorable to devotional service, or in some cases even one does not have a family. In all cases, Krishna is looking only at individual soul's level of sincere surrender. So instead of whimsically trying to give up the family, we must just be situated in whatever condition Krishna has placed us and honestly endeavor to serve Krishna with our body, mind, and words. BMW. Serve Krishna with BMW. Body, mind, and words. That's why Lord Brahmaji prays very nicely in Bhagavatam 10:14:3. Jnane prayasa mudapasya namanta eva जीवन्ति सन्मुखरितं भवदीव वार्तां स्थाने स्थिता श्रुतिगतां तनुवान् मनोभिर् ये प्रायशो अजितजितोऽपि यस्य तैस्त्रिलोक्याम्. Those who, even while remaining situated in their established social positions, throw away the process of speculative knowledge and with their body, words, mind, offer all respects to descriptions of your personality and activities, dedicating his life to these narrations, which are vibrated by you personally and by your pure devotees, certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the three worlds. So these very important lessons, right? You have to learn. That's why in the purport is ultimately, see, the king began to think in terms of attachment and detachment, right, from one's material home, King Anga. But Prabhupada says that ultimately one has to learn how to detach oneself from attachment to material life. So we see so many lessons we could learn from today this verse. So the motto the family motto should be the best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. I'll stop here now. Thank you very much, Mother, for giving this opportunity to glorify the Lord and purify ourselves. Vancha kalpataru becha kripa sandubhaye becha patitanam pavan. Granandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Tira Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gopal Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, have anything to share, or if what you felt in a takeaway is very useful for you, which sparked you that, oh, this is what I wanted, I can put it in my daily practice and also share with others. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडप्रणाम प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna. Promise.
आप सबको हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the story of Tukaram, Eknath, and Narsi Mehta is very how they detached with wife and without wife. It is very good lesson, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you very
Prabhu.
much. Wonderful explanation and the stories. Just a quick update on 8, 9, 10, and 11th verse of which chapter of Bhagavad Gita did you refer to, Prabhu?
13th chapter.
13th chapter. Okay.
13th
Thank you
chapter,
very
8,
much,
9, 10,
Prabhu.
11, 12, 5 verses. Yes, Prabhu.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank
Hare
you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Today is a good day to start implementing the formulas.
Yes, Prabhu. 4-point formula.
Yes.
Correct, Prabhu. Very nice.
Today is a good day. Hare Krishna.
Yes, yeah. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Right, we should really pray to him, right, to be always in devotional service. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. If you have anything else, anything to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Excellent one. Really enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you, Ganesh Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Good
Thank you,
feedback.
Prabhuji, for a nice class.
Thank you, Kalyan Mataji. Hare Krishna. Gurudev ki jai. Okay, thank you for very patiently hearing me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, everything that you say is, it is very, very beautiful. It is very practical to be implemented. Sit with the family and start chanting. A very, very gentle way of initiation. That is very practical. And it is, if you put efforts and endeavors, it is feasible, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank you. So nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How sunshine is a part of the sun. We all part and parcel of Krishna, the atom.
Correct.
Simply
Yeah.
amazing.
True.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good realization. That's nice.
And the 2 F's to be remembered: forgive and forget,
Yes.
and without forgetting Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
That's also a good point. We
Yeah.
forget, but we don't forget Krishna anyway.
Yes,
Always remember
yes.
Krishna. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you very
We
much.
always remember Krishna.
Jai.
The other one is the not to attach to the unreality. That is what the temporary, which is temporary, but attached to the eternal,
Yeah, reality.
the reality.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, this is all these Mayavadis, they say this is false. That's what they think. But although it is ulta, perverted, they think it is not there only. It is there, but it is temporary. It is not false also. It is there. When you see the reflection in the water, it is there, right? But that is illusion actually. If you go to catch it is difficult. I think there was a story, right? One person was coming, you see a very necklace in the water. Correct. Oh,
Yes.
he dived inside the muddy water to take it. 2-3 times he did, but he could not find. Ultimately, somebody was coming. The water, no, there is a very beautiful pearl necklace. I want to take it. Why are you doing that? It is there in the tree up. Right. So it's just a reflection, and you're going deep down, working very hard to take that. Whereas if you take the real reality, you will not waste your time. That's the point to understand. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
So thank you, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishna. I'll stop here now. I think I have the ghost. I need to stop myself. Thank you, Uttam Prabhu. Hare Krishna. For the association. Hare Krishna.